All right, here we go.
Here we go, episode 4, baby.
Episode 4.
My goodness.
Well, we made it to 4. I mean,
yeah.
I just saw some research or something, or it said most podcasts don't make it beyond 10.
Is that right?
Yeah, that's right. So,
Well, most podcasts aren't titled "The Unpredictable Life."
Well, that's true. That's true. So hopefully we make it. If we get to episode 11, we'll have to celebrate a major milestone.
Well, if people are just tuning in, what is this podcast about?
Yeah, so a most unpredictable life. If you haven't seen episode 1 and 2, or maybe you have, but yeah, it's titled a most unpredictable life because I received my senior year in high school as a senior superlative. I received most unpredictable, and so some people have said that my life has been very unpredictable. That probably given some of my childhood and stories there and different things. Either one, I should have probably been in prison from like going down the wrong path, or maybe killed on the battlefield, or just probably not where I am today.
Yeah.
So that's what's made it unpredictable, and so we're just kind of telling that story,
like one year at a time, or a couple of years at a time,
or a couple months at a time, depends on
months
what part we're at. So, but today, we're not going to get into it completely yet, but
no, yeah. How was your weekend? We just came off a holiday weekend.
Well, yeah, it was 4th of July, so it was a very very nice weekend. So yeah, my son was still in town, so that was awesome. 4th of July, we had a big 4th of July party, and we celebrated my son who's in high school, his graduation from high school. So it was like a joint party. Wow. It was very big. We had a lot of people show up. Yeah, did fireworks. Which is always fun. So,
and you said it rained. Yeah, I wasn't in Columbus, so it rained.
It did rain on Saturday at our place. It was like all the storms. They normally go around us, but they kind of hit us a little bit. So we got like 3 throughout the day, but it kept people kept showing up and hanging out and having fun, and so it was kind of great. I love It's funny. I mean, I was busy all day. I was basically hosting. It's weird, like, why would you enjoy doing this, right? Like,
you love to host. You're a great host.
I did enjoy it. I don't know why. I was so tired. Unbelievable. And my wife, she does a great job of just preparing, and she works herself to death to get that stuff ready. And but it was good to celebrate my son and the 4th of July, the 250th anniversary. It was cool. So, but it was enjoyable. I love seeing everybody in all the different groups and stuff, and be able to walk around and see everybody have a good time and talk and just enjoy the 4th of July.
And you're a fireworks master?
No, well, I wouldn't say no. I'm definitely not a master, but this is my 4th year of purchasing and lighting off. And
you do this right in the cul-de-sac.
We do it right here in the cul-de-sac.
Anybody's roof catch on fire or anything?
No roofs. Everything came out fine.
Yes,
and it was good. It does make a big mess. It is a big mess.
Oh, does it?
But we learned after the very first time we did it. The next morning when we walked out, we're like, oh my goodness, what did we do?
Oh,
there was just leftover pieces, junk. It is bad. It's a mess. They make a mess.
Do they?
And
all right.
But we learned then the next 3 years, and we did it this year, which is right after the show. We pull out a bunch of leaf blowers and everything and brooms, and we just start walking in a circle and get it all tightened up.
All right.
Nice pile, and then scoop it up, clean it up. And it looked pretty good. And then I try to blow anything that's left over into my yard. So that way, if there is stuff, it goes in my yard, and my mower will chop it up and get rid of it.
Does your dog like it?
I don't know. Well, yeah, I assume so.
Dogs often don't like them.
Well, we're a military family, and we I think.
What does that mean? You shoot guns all the time?
It just means, hey, you know what? If you're in our family, you should be used to the loud booms and stuff, right? Growing up around a military base, artillery and things like that goes off. So we're used to those kind of things.
And speaking of military, you gave your son a weapon.
Oh, Nate, yeah. So
tell us about the weapon.
Hopefully that goes over well one day. So for every one of my children at their graduation party, my daughter calls it special prayer. She kind of makes fun of it a little bit.
All right.
And so we do it. I brought Nate up like I did with my son Noah. Gave him a Gerber or multi-tool when he was heading off. And Lauren, I gave her a cross. Well, for Nate, he's going to be a firefighter. So for him, I went and bought him a fireman's axe, and it was it's a nice hefty axe. I should have brought it and showed it.
Was a fireman's axe different than what you used to chop wood?
Oh, it's got a really long handle, but it's got the little pickaxe on the back, little pick on it, that thing, and then it's heavy. It's a
All
heavy
right.
axe. I should have brought it up. I never thought of that. And then I burned really poorly. I did a terrible job with it. I had a vision, and the vision I had was supposed to be great.
Yeah.
But I did it with literally one of those cigarette lighter torches and some stencils that I bought, the metal stencils. But I stenciled into it with flames because that was the whole vision. Was Psalm 91. So I put Psalm 91 on there.
Okay.
And that is a prayer, a psalm of protection. It was the same exact psalm that I literally would read every single night when I was in Iraq in 2005. My second deployment to Iraq in 2005 or 6. I would read that every night and recite parts of that before we'd go out on missions and stuff.
Sounds very powerful.
Good
Means
connection.
A lot to you.
Yeah, it meant a lot to me, and it was interesting that I found out that a lot of firemen use that same psalm. It's important to them.
Okay.
So that was awesome.
It is.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
What about you?
I went to Dallas, Texas.
Dallas. Now the World Cup's going on too. Were you there for the World Cup?
Yes. Who was playing there? Ecuador.
So you were there for the World Cup. You just don't know who was playing.
I didn't go to it, but it was in Jerry's World. We passed it down the road.
Jerry's World. What's that?
Jerry's World. Jerry Jones owns
Oh.
AT&T Stadium, and all of that.
Yeah, that's a nice stadium. I would, maybe the next World Cup I need to go watch. Go to one. It won't be in the United States. So.
Well, I had some college friends from way back when. We stayed in touch, and they always come for a Buckeye game every year.
Yep.
But they go to the same church in this lake community, and they asked me to come down and guest preach. So, because I'm a retired pastor, I went down there, and my wife led the music, and I did that.
You guys do everything.
But we went for 5 days, so we got to see.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're so it was like a half an hour sermon or something.
That's right, and then I got to stay at their house, and they flew me down, and it was a great honorarium. I mean, you know. So, but have you ever been to Fort Worth?
I have been to Fort Worth.
To the stockyards? To the Longhorn?
I haven't. And
Cattle Drive.
Hey, Matt Kelly, when I come down, why aren't you taking me to these cool
Matt
sites?
Kelly, how come you haven't taken him yet? That's it.
You know Matt Kelly.
I do know Matt Kelly.
Yeah, and so actually we've mentioned him quite a bit on the podcast. But yeah, he I keep saying I'm not gonna say people's first and last names, but he's just one of those guys you gotta say.
All right.
But yeah, I've been to Dallas, I've been to Fort Worth area and all that, but I've never been to the Stockade.
Well, the Stockade, so they do the Texas Longhorn. They have about 25 of them that every day at 11 and at 4, they stampede them through the street just for tourists.
Really? Every single day?
Yeah.
Wow.
And just for tourists. They got cowboys pushing them along and everything. And so it was really nice. And then we did a 3-hour, get a guide in a van, and they show you around Dallas.
Yeah.
And that first hour is all John F. Kennedy assassination buildings and stuff like that.
Oh, wow, okay.
But anyway, it was great. I experienced something July 4th in this lake community, went down to the lodge, and I did my first cakewalk.
Wait, a what?
A cakewalk. Have you ever done a cakewalk?
A cakewalk. Do you get a cake?
Yeah, well, if you're lucky.
Oh, wait, is this like a chair where you have the chairs?
Yes, only
it's
we
like,
sk
Yeah.
Yeah, so like musical chairs.
Yeah, like musical chairs.
Yeah,
I've done this. Yeah.
There's 25 squares, and there's a long line out the door and down the street.
Oh, wow.
And you pay $1 for a ticket, and then you go in there, and when it's your turn, 25 people go around, play the music. When the music stops, wherever your number is, excuse me, they'll pick one or two, and they get to go get a cake in the middle.
Wow. So this is like a routine thing? I mean, I've done this
It's every 4th of July.
Really? I've done this for like fundraisers for different things, like say a school or something.
It was
I've
a
done
fundraiser.
a cakewalk or whatever, but I've never like public, I guess out in public or whatever, like that big. That's pretty cool. Did you get a cake?
Well, so my friends and their families, their kids, their grandkids, there was 25 of us, so we were bound to win.
Because we took so many people.
We took
Yeah.
But it cost,
It costs kind of.
It cost $25 to win a cake that you could have bought at Kroger for $2. But
yeah.
Anyway, we had a good time, and I've only used the phrase. You do something and it's easier than you thought. That was a cakewalk. I didn't know what it meant, and it's actually a thing called a cakewalk.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. So we had a great time and played 2 rounds of golf in 100-degree weather in Texas heat. And so I got back 2 days ago, but I'm still in a little recovery mode.
Yeah, that's a busy weekend.
Yeah, we had a
I
great
kept texting,
time.
you weren't responding. And I'm like, I hope Terry's all right.
Well,
You know how I get worried about you.
yeah, I know you do get worried about me, And I just thought, how dare you reach out to me when I am in another state doing something important?
Hey,
I would never do that to you.
Hey, it's official, so we got to make sure, that nothing happens
Yeah,
to you. You're
and
that critical.
so you went to open mic night on Monday?
Yep, I keep adjusting this. Sorry. I know I'm not supposed to talk about it on the podcast, but
Yeah.
Yeah, so no, wait.
Over at O'Neill's? It's the same one on Monday nights?
No, there wasn't one this week.
I
because
noticed you didn't correct me.
Oh, Nelly's.
It's
Nelly.
O'Neill's.
Oh, Nelly.
Okay.
They're getting a lot of. It's a great place though, and I love the guy there that runs it. His name's Greg. If you guys are in town or anybody wants to ever go watch some live music, don't come watch on Mondays. Probably come.
Why?
Greg's
That's when
there.
you're playing.
I know Greg's a great musician, so I think I'm listening to him play and then leave right after.
You had a friend come. It wasn't me. Somebody else came.
Oh, that was that's like 2 weeks ago. We already talked about that, I think, with Tom.
Did we?
Yeah,
All
maybe,
right.
maybe not. Maybe
All
not.
right.
Tom came. Yeah.
There's
But
no
this week.
Sony scouts there offering you a contract or anything?
No. There was. I just had to turn them all down, but no.
Did you? Because of the podcast, the
Yeah.
demands of the podcast.
But something big did happen this week.
Oh, tell me.
We released episode 1.
Yes.
Yeah, huge. So anyway, no, I mean it's huge for us, right? Because it took us. I mean, I think people think like we just sat down. Well, if it was up to you, we would have just had. You were like, when I asked Terry about doing a podcast.
Oh,
he's
here
like,
we go.
He's like, yeah, let's do it right now. Pull out your iPhone. Is that not true?
That's
remember
not
that?
true.
You don't remember that?
No, I don't remember
No,
that.
that's exactly how that
Just
went.
like everything else you make up.
You said, pull out your iPhone, let's do it. And I'm like, no.
Pull up your iPhone. Let's schedule it.
No.
All right.
So, but we started this process like back in March or whatever.
Yeah.
And, we went through all this. So to get to where we released episode 1 this week, which is now July. I mean, so it took quite a few months to,
All right.
get all the equipment, get it all set up, paint the wall,
There's a cat in the room.
Hazel, what are you doing? Anyway,
Gee whiz.
she's like, I want to.
We've been here for 45 minutes, and a cat just came out from under the bed.
Yeah, I didn't know that. Oh, she's gonna start banging on the door or something. We might have to go.
Should
let her
I
out.
open the door?
You can. Yep, she's scratching at the door. Here, Terry's gonna let her out. Go ahead, Hazy, get on out. There you go, kitty cat. Now you gotta make sure that door's pushed all the way. All right, that's good. Hey, so that's an interesting part of the podcast.
Yes.
But yeah, we released episode 1, so it took us a lot of work really to get to here, and there's a lot of it's kind of nerve-wracking a little bit. It's a little nervous to say, hey, I'm gonna put all this out to the world, but what I would say is I feel like we got a pretty good response for episode 1.
Yeah?
Obviously, we don't have there's not a ton of people, but we launched on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Audible.
You
and
said there's already a couple
Amazon
thousand views.
Yeah, well, on our clips. So we have our clips, and then my daughter, she actually builds our clips. So it's so cool to have my young daughter, who's in middle school, to build the clips for us. She likes doing it.
Oh man.
And she you can just see her. I love watching the clips because I get to see her humor and stuff and what she does with her little boom, boom, boom. So people probably thought, oh, I did a great job with that. I didn't do that. I got to make sure my daughter gets the credit.
And you said there were some comments already?
Yeah, we already have comments about the podcast. So,
All right.
So yeah, and I enjoy those podcasts.
Any questions that people?
I don't remember questions, but like a couple of things that came up was about the scholarship. Of me getting the scholarship. So the classmates that I went to in my freshman year, there was probably 150 total people who received that exact same scholarship, right? So so several of my classmates started commenting, and they were commenting on they remember the exact day that happened for them when they opened the envelope.
Oh, that's cool.
And it was pretty exciting for them. And I'm sure everyone was in different positions, right? Some people, Ryan, he's like, yeah, my dad was really excited. So in some cases, where their parents were probably like, how are we going to send this kid off to school?
Yeah.
The dad's like, yeah, all right, and it was a big thing. And other people were like, yeah, it was an amazing day for them to know that they have an opportunity to go to college basically for free.
Right.
And so that was pretty cool. And then just watching, the one clip got over 4,000 views. So that was pretty cool. And just seeing the supportive, oh, I can't wait. Oh, I love this.
All
and then we've got people, already downloading the podcast and listening to the whole thing. And so I think that's great. I think Oh,
Is there like a subscribe and a?
yeah, there is a subscribe. So yeah, please do that. Go subscribe to the YouTube or if whatever you use to listen to podcasts. Obviously, if you just want the clips and stuff like that, we'll be putting them on Instagram and Facebook.
Yeah.
There's YouTube Shorts too, but subscribe to YouTube, subscribe to Instagram, subscribe to Facebook, and share it. Share it with people.
All right.
Some of the cool thing was as an Audible, one of the soldiers that was in my command. She posted this really super nice comment on an Audible. She gave me 5 stars and reviewed it and said,
Wow.
She recognized me as a company commander and just said how much I helped influence her in that time period.
That's good stuff.
And Warren Dowling said the same thing. So it's encouraging, right?
Yeah.
To hear that and
it's getting out there and people appreciate it.
And
That's
really,
good.
again, the goal is that as people go through stuff, they say, look, you just don't end up where you end up. There's a whole story behind it. And it's maybe not, it's
very unpredictable.
Yeah, some people are like, "Hey, I didn't expect that. I didn't know that's how you got there." They just see what happened before.
Yeah.
And so,
all right, Unpredictable Life, episode 4. We're getting in the DeLorean.
4.
What year or two are we punching into the DeLorean?
Well, it's not 1985, right? I think is that the right in the movie? But we're going back to 1978 to 79 ish.
78. How old are you?
I am 5 to 6 years old, basically.
5 to 6.
Yep.
And I am 18 years old.
And so
I'm graduating high school.
Yeah, you're So where we started, episode 1 was me graduating, and here we are with episode 4, and you're graduating.
Yep.
So I think that's a big thing. So what was going on? Tell me what was going on in your life, and because mine's not as exciting. I don't have as much. I'm a young kid. I'm just kind of getting up.
Yeah, when we get to your stuff
in high school,
I know.
And I want to know what was going on in Terry's world. What call that?
Well, all right.
So there might even be a restaurant.
I went
called
to Sandusky Perkins High School, and I think I surprised everybody by actually graduating. No, I suppose not. But I was president of the marching band.
Were you really?
I was. I got the John Philip Sousa Award.
Did you really?
That's right.
Is that from Ohio State or that was?
No, it's from Perkins High School.
So they called that. That's a great honor.
You get the most important. I have a little trophy. That's
Does
right.
it have a sousaphone on it?
It has John Philip Sousa.
Oh, it's got him right on it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Which he invented the sousaphone.
Yeah. And that's the big thing that's the cool thing. Yeah.
I didn't play the sousaphone.
What did you play?
I played the baritone horn.
Oh, well, that's kind of close.
It's kind of cool, but not as cool.
Yeah.
You don't dot the I at the Ohio State Script, Ohio with the baritone.
You carry the deep, nice,
There you go. But anyway, yes, band was
kinda
my
like
life.
how you carry this podcast.
No, that's not true.
No.
I was in the band, and my summer job, we talked about this before, is I worked at Cedar Point as a weight guesser. Guess your age, your weight, your birthday month. Guess your age within 2 years, your weight within 3 pounds, your birthday month within 2 months. Move your feet, your body will follow. What am I guessing? Yes. I still have the line.
We need
memorized.
more Cedar Point. I need to hear more Cedar Point stories.
Yes, we had great Cedar Point stories. Everybody thought that I was cheating, that somehow the cement in front of the scale was somehow weighing them.
Oh, really? So they thought if they walked up, they were. Yeah. There was a secret.
Now, I did cheat sometimes. People would come with their leather jacket on, and Jeremy would be down there. I'd say, I'll guess your name. Give me 50 cents. I'll guess your name. And I'd say, Jeremy, how did you do that?
Yeah.
It's on your coat, silly. Go get a prize.
Yeah, you're like.
Yeah. So that was my life. And then the summer of 78. So I graduate in spring of 78. Summer of 78, my biggest focus was getting ready for tryouts for the Ohio State Marching Band for my freshman year. And
that's huge, though.
All over the state of Ohio, they have these clinics. You learn how to march. You play the songs. You got everything memorized. They drill you. Not like you did drills in the military, but it is a military band.
Yeah.
So you got to be able to
the best.
It is the best darn band in the land. We're not going to use any profanity. Yes. But we did. And then tryouts were, halfway through August, and you find out that you make it, and even though you're an alternate.
Did you make it your freshman year or what?
I did. There's 16 rows in the Ohio State Marching Band. Sorry. And there's 16 rows in the band, and in every row there's 12 regular members and 2 alternates. So you get to be an alternate, and then every week you pick what you think is the weakest member in the band, and you challenge them.
Oh, really?
Yep.
So you started as an alternate,
I started as an alternate.
and then you challenged somebody.
Every single week I challenged.
Oh, how'd that go?
Never made it.
Come on,
No,
I don't.
no, I never
Yeah.
got a regular spot every
But-
week.
So what does that mean for you? What does that mean if you don't make it?
I still go to all of the practices. You still get to go to the games.
yeah.
And it's kind of a humiliating experience because, there's 32 alternates, 16 rows, 2 alternates in each row. And so there's 32 of you, and you don't come in when the band comes in for the ramp entrance. You come in about 15 minutes ahead of time, and you march down the ramp, and everybody cheers for you. Oh, it's the alternates.
Oh, and then
And then you take your spot. But
Yeah.
you're there in case somebody falls down.
but and it's important that you're there, and then it motivates you though too. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? And hey, somebody's got to be an
Yep.
alternate.
And this reveals a little my age.
I mean, that's still pretty honorable. When you think about it.
But
freshman.
there's about 700 people to try out, and there's 225 spots. And
yeah, that's
so-
huge.
But it was Woody Hayes' last year. I was in the band during Woody Hayes'
Oh, you
last
got
year.
to see the Clemson.
And I went to the Gator Bowl in Jacksonville, Florida, which we sometimes call the Punch Bowl.
Yeah.
And we were marching down the field with Art Schleister, and we were about to beat Clemson, and then he throws an interception, and the guy who intercepted it taunted the OSU
Yeah.
sidelines as he was running down the field, and coach,
Woody Hayes.
yeah, Woody Hayes just gives him a left hook,
He
and
gave him to Woody Hayes.
and the next day they
He couldn't-
fired him.
He couldn't take it anymore.
No, so yeah, I found out the next day because as soon as it happened, the band director said we didn't know what happened.
Yeah.
We left, and the
Well,
next day,
we all make mistakes, right?
well, that's a biggie. Yep.
Yeah.
Nobody thought anybody could fire Woody Hayes, but he was fired.
Yeah. Well, that goes. Yeah.
Yeah, so that all happened in 1978, and
So in '78, did you have your eye on anybody in the band? I mean, what was going on there?
no, I
No?
didn't have an eye.
You didn't have any. There wasn't anybody.
No, it was no, I didn't.
Not at that point.
I had a girlfriend,
Oh, you did. Okay.
but she wasn't in the band.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And she was from high school.
Oh,
She was
okay.
a year older.
Yeah.
But it was good to be in a band. It was a struggle for me because it's pretty wild life.
Do you have any good
culture.
friends still from that period?
Oh,
Like-
sure. Yeah.
No, that's good.
Yeah, because the university, one of the first few games of every year, they invite any alumni to come back,
Yeah.
and you do Script Ohio again, and you do it all
Yeah.
over again one more time is what they say, and there's
My-
usually 700 or 800 of us.
My brother-in-law is he played all 4 years.
Oh,
Actually,
right.
my I guess it'd be it's my wife's grandfather.
Yeah,
He was in the marching band.
yeah,
So she's like got 4 generations of her family in the meaning. So, yeah,
Yeah.
But he was like, this is like I forget in the 30s, but he was one of the first people. She'll correct me and she'll be like, no, you got it wrong. But, he had like one of the very first drum majors or whatever, and they have
Oh.
the baton and
yeah,
all that stuff. Pretty cool. I mean, amazing stuff. But
yeah.
so they go back when they do the alumni band. You're probably marching with them sometimes. He
Sometimes I
played
do.
the trumpet, and then his son also plays currently in the marching band
Yeah.
for Ohio State, and has
Yeah.
played all 4 years
Yeah.
too as a trumpet player.
Well, I don't go back every
It's
year.
pretty cool though. It's awesome
Yeah.
to watch the whole alumni band out
Yeah.
there. And I love watching, in that case, seeing my brother-in-law and his son. It's just kind of cool to see them both out there.
Well, my wife was in the band, and not the same time as I was. She's younger, and our oldest son was in the band, and so sometimes all 3 of us go and do the reunion game.
Oh, that's so cool.
That's cool.
So when did your wife was in the band?
4 years later, we were never in the band together.
Oh, you're never
She-
in there
She
together.
came in and made it on trumpet, and yeah, she. so we were both-
I guess I didn't realize that. That's why I asked the question. Did you have your eye on anybody?
No,
but-
we were never in college at the same time.
Yeah.
But
You're much older than she is.
I am 4 years older. I am 4 years older, but I still lived on campus. And after I graduated and got a job as a band director, and
yeah.
she started coming around, and I still lived down on campus. And once I
Yeah.
saw her, I thought, "Oh my, she's
Yeah.
so young." So, but we knew one another when she was in the band.
Yeah.
We didn't let women in the band until 1973.
Oh, really?
And
Wow.
so, now it's
Yeah.
1978. There was only a handful of us when
Yep.
she got in 82.
Yeah, just not very many.
So that was my freshman year.
pretty impressive, though.
Of college.
I love that. That's awesome.
Was in 78. Lived on Park Hall, 6th floor, in a triple with 2 guys that I never met in my whole life.
Yeah, it's always interesting, right?
Yeah.
You just come in and
That's right.
that's what's so cool about college or anything when you go off. You just meet just random people.
Yeah.
And now how are you guys still friends or what's there?
Actually, there was a triple. So Scott, which we called Weenie.
Well, that's the way college works. You get another nickname.
He went to the same high school as Art Schleister, which, if you don't know who Art Schleister is, he was an all-star football player for Ohio State. He went to high school Miami Trace with him, only he was a wrestler. And he just thought that every athlete at Ohio State will be treated like Art Schleister, meaning you never have to go to class.
Yeah.
And somebody's going to do all your homework.
Yep.
So he didn't really ever go to class.
Oh,
and he never did any homework.
Yeah, and then that.
And at the end of the first, we did quarters back then. The end of the first quarter, he failed everything he took.
Oh.
And they put him on probation.
Yep.
And by the end of that academic year, he was kicked out of school. But the other guy, David Case was his name, and he was from Virginia, and we hit it off okay. But we lost track of one another, and only about 5 years ago, found out he lives in Westerville, and we've reconnected.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. When you went to college, did they put your name on your dorm room door?
I don't remember.
Yeah.
I don't know. There was obviously a way.
They put our names on there, but they always put our full names. So I had up on my door, Terrence.
Oh, you were Terrence.
And
yeah.
so my whole freshman year in the dorms.
All right, Terrence.
It's Terrence.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's the only one in my life.
I don't remember. I thought maybe like when we first got there. I don't know. I'd have to ask maybe some of my classmates, will tell me. I don't remember our names being on our doors and stuff.
Yeah.
We could decorate it. I remember decorating my door in my freshman year.
Yeah.
You got for us, these didn't exist for you, but you put a dry erase board on there.
Yeah.
And then I went out and bought a bunch of signs.
Okay.
Like closed and do not trespass or yard sale or something. I remember I bought signs at like Home Depot and I put those on the door, and that was how I decorated
now,
my door.
you talked about last episode things that some people might have gotten kicked out of the dorms for, and you got away with it. But, snowball fights and lighting snowmen on fire. The only thing I did, and I didn't get kicked out for it, but you take a chemistry class, and they had the chem-hoses, these rubber hoses.
Yeah.
Well, we found out that you could take somebody would take it from chemical lab, a 10-foot chem-hose, stick it up to the shower head, and it would boom.
Yeah.
All the way down. That was a pressurized water gun.
Yep.
And then we would take it to our room, which was on the end of the dormitory, 6 floors up, and we could douse people on the sidewalk. Just douse them. And we did, especially on, when they would have dances and people get all dressed up.
Yeah, that's the way to do it. It's so funny. I mean, I do have stories similar to that, but that's the next episode probably.
Yeah, okay.
But yeah, no, that's how you got to do it, right?
Yeah, so that's, I don't think there was much else.
You didn't get in any trouble ever?
Well,
I mean, in that time frame, we'll say.
There is one story.
Okay, let's hear it now.
So you talked about the study center in the middle of the hallway on your dorm floor.
Yeah. Well, I don't go to the study center.
You put beer cans.
Oh, whatever that was. Yeah, our lounge area where the TV and couch was.
The Coke cans, not the beer cans.
Yeah.
But we had study lounge, and the only time I was ever in it was they were going to have this big party this weekend, and I thought I'm not going to be a part of this, and I went and stayed with a friend in his apartment. Mm-hmm. I came back on Sunday night, and I saw the study room, and in the study room, everybody's names was in there in magic marker on the wall. All over the paint.
Really?
And I came in on Sunday night, and they said, hey, Terry, everybody's signing their name. They're going to repaint it. They told us we're going to repaint it, so we get to sign our name. And they said, I know you weren't here over the weekend, but just sign your name. Really? They're going to repaint? I said, yeah. So put your name on. Monday afternoon, there was a message on everybody's in our dorm floor.
Every single person.
Everybody come in. The dorm director wants a meeting, and all he said was, if your name's on the wall, you're on trash duty every weekend for the next quarter. I didn't go to the party. I just, how did I get in trouble?
Sure, I
wasn't there. I didn't party the whole weekend. But I got my name on it, and
just
you can't dismiss it. There's my name.
Yeah, your name was written right
Did
on
you
there.
write it there? I did.
You did.
Yeah, so anyway.
Did you tell him the story ever?
I told him the story. I told dorm director. He said, did you or did you not write your name on the wall? I did. Then you're on trash duty.
And so the people that had you do that, they had to be dying, though.
They were thinking, oh, yeah, Lewis wasn't in there.
We got him.
It was a drunk fest.
We
but,
got him.
yeah,
funny.
so that's pretty much the story.
Yeah,
My freshman. I only lived in the dorms my freshman year. Then I
you
lived
moved
in
out.
apartments.
Yeah.
But it's good memories.
Yeah, freshman year of college is a fun time. Just getting, like you said, it's your first time out and getting away.
Yeah.
And I'm sure it was different in 1978, 79.
Yeah. And there was fun. There was a lot of stuff going on in the world back then, but because you don't.
Everything was in Technicolor then, not HD
How old
yet.
were you?
Yeah, I was, so 78 to 79, I would have been 5 to 6 years old.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you were probably old enough to go to the Superman movie with Christopher Reeves.
I don't know. I did not go to the movie. I don't know when I saw Superman. I knew it, it.
Bum, ba, bum, 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 bum.
Friends of ours, I want to say, so before there was HBO, which HBO was magical to me, but
Yeah.
before there was HBO, there used to be this cable station kind of similar to HBO. It was called Preview. Do you ever hear that? Remember Preview? at all?
Nope.
And Preview, I guess it's like that whole thing where you get movies at home, but they wouldn't come on until 8:00 at night.
Oh.
So it wasn't like it ran all day.
Yeah.
And you could watch it. So friends of my mom's, Dale and Carol, they would have these movies on there. And one of the movies, I believe that's where I watched it, was Superman 1.
Yeah.
It was either there or I went to a drive-in movie theater. I'm trying to remember. I just remember it was magical.
It's still the best Superman movie ever made.
Yeah, I loved
Christopher
Oh, it
Reeves.
was so incredible, right? Like
The technology and you really thought that a man could fly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, and I think I was so young, so to me it was just super
Yeah.
intense and magical.
And the Star Wars movies
And
were
he did so good.
the year before and then the year
Yeah.
after.
Yeah, I don't think like the Star Wars movies. I remember probably the one that I first connected with as a Star Wars, which would be later, would have been Return of the Jedi. But
Yeah.
and then I went back and watched the other ones in a way, and and then over time they've connected. But Superman, I can remember the first time I watched that and being just like, wow, yeah, this is incredible. And Christopher Reeves did such a great job.
Yes. Music, there was Queen.
Oh yeah, Queen.
Yeah.
It's so funny because they did "We Are the Champions," right?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So "We Are the Champions." I mean, I had a little. Well, right there you have it.
All right, explain this T-shirt to everybody.
Yeah. So,
you
if
guys know
don't-
what this
if
is?
if anybody knows what this is, just go ahead and put it in the comments. Oh, look, we're at that point now where we're talking about comments. But,
Yeah.
But yeah, so
This
I
is
had,
not radioactive. That's not what that is.
No, it's not radioactive. But in the CD I had, or not the CD,
CD.
the record I had a 45 of it.
Yeah.
And the 45, which if you don't know, so at the time you had, which is
They
I
still
feel
have
like
record players
I feel
back.
like you should be telling the story on this. So
Well,
I'll
the
let you-
record players, they still have today. You buy an album, and it's got a little hole in the middle, and it's got, like 5 or 6 songs on each side? I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't
probably.
have one.
Yeah,
But back then, you would come out with a single. There would be side A and side B,
and that's where you get the B side.
and that's where you get the B side, right? But its hole was always bigger
Yeah,
than the 33 album. And so you had to put a disc in like this because of the way it was shaped. You would compact it like a spring load it, stick it in the middle of the 45. It would open up and hold its place, and the dot in the middle is what went on the record player.
yeah,
But then you had to turn the speed of the turntable
yeah.
up to 45.
Yeah. So you had two different speeds. A
RPMs.
33, which is your big. Again, for those that aren't that can't see this, because there's people listening to this that don't see it, but 33 was the big album that people kind of picture now.
Yeah.
And then those played at a 33 RPM, and then the smaller one, because it was smaller,
Yeah.
and only had one song on it, maybe two, but usually it's only one song per side,
Yeah.
right? and that was then played at 45 revolutions per minute. And so it went a little faster, but you had to put this little adapter went in the middle of it. So you can Google it. Just Google up a 45 to 33 adapter, and you'll see. And that's what's on Terry's T-shirt today, is what he's wearing, which is pretty cool. That's a great pick. You know, we didn't plan for this conversation to go this way or anything. Like, you wore the T-shirt, but back to Queen, right? So
Queen, that album.
I can picture that 45.
Yeah.
And it had "We Are the Champions" on one side. And
I don't know what it had on the backside.
Well, did they do "Stroke Me" also?
Maybe, I can't remember.
I always felt like it was "We Are the Champions" on one side and "Stroke."
Okay.
Right, or whatever it was on the other side, which is kind of funny for, I think back being a young child listening to those songs. On a 45, but yeah.
Yeah, so Billy Joel album.
Oh,
but,
I love Billy Joel.
So, like I told you, I was president of the band.
Yeah.
And I love jazz band. And so I had big band albums that I had just as many of those. So I was listening to Duke Ellington Band. And
what was the big Billy Joel song at that point? Do we know?
Piano Man.
Piano Man. Oh, Lori plays. She doesn't play she'll say, I don't play the harmonica, but she can play beginning of Piano Man. The Piano Man part on a harmonica.
Where is she? Let's get her up here.
Yeah, she's at the zoo. So
okay,
my wife volunteers at the zoo. So if you're at the zoo, go see her.
Yeah.
She's at the giraffes.
So what else happened? That there was other things that were happening in Ohio back then. Are we going into some of those? No, we'll go into some of them later. But
I don't know. Yeah, why don't you?
There was it was the energy crisis and all of that. But
I don't remember. That time period for me. And we'll go into a little bit. So my parents were divorced. My mom had probably met my stepdad, Keith, in that point. But the thing I remember about that period was I just felt like everything from my perspective was like rusted and old. I don't know why, but in my brain, I just picture, you don't hardly ever see old rusted cars anymore. But in that time period, I felt like at least every car we owned was rusted. We had cars... And that would have been like 82, 83, but we had a Fiat and it was rusted so bad you could see the road.
Oh.
Right? When we're driving down the road, you could see the road through and you're sitting in the back seat looking at the road going by in the floorboard. And
most of the Volkswagen Beetles in my family were that way, yeah.
And it was just like, well, that's the way cars are. But sometimes I would pick at that. You know what I mean? So then I'm just picking at it and then pieces of rust are falling down, the hole's getting bigger. Right, you know what I mean?
Became a Flintstone car.
Yeah, right. It's so wild to think about. That's how. And then the other thing I think about in 78, 79 was you never were supposed to fall asleep in the car.
Why not?
Because the fumes. At least that's how it worked for us. It was like, don't fall asleep. There was always this worry that the fumes somehow we fell asleep, they would get
carbon monoxide,
and we wouldn't wake up. And it was always like if you fell asleep, sometimes it'd be like, wake them up.
Oh,
and
it's the opposite for us.
Yeah.
We'd get in the car, and my dad would give us Dramamine so that we would sleep.
Yeah.
All the way down to Columbus.
Your cars probably didn't have you probably had good exhaust systems.
Yes, probably. All right, now let's
regular gas.
So we're back. We're still in 78, 79, but take me to where you lived, who you stayed with. So let's get in your... Where were you living?
So in 1978, 79... I was living in Shreve, Ohio.
Shreve.
281 Church Street.
How can you remember that?
Yeah, 567-3898. That was my phone number. Yeah, so...
What? How do you remember that? Wow.
Yeah, I just do, right? Those are phone numbers and addresses. And
we didn't do the area code back then.
No, we did. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a 216 number.
Okay.
A 216 now, but unfortunately... So 216 now is like just Cleveland area.
All right.
But at that time, it stretched all the way down to Wooster, Ohio. Now Wooster is 330.
Yeah, Wooster?
Wooster. Speaking of which, this weekend at the 4th of July party, I had Koshi House Pizza. Koshi House Pizza.
What, you got him to deliver it?
A friend of mine.
From Wooster?
Aaron, thank you so much. We're having the 4th of July, so I'd put on we have this group text of family and guys that are close to family. I said, would anybody pick up Koshi House Pizza and bring it down? And Aaron came through. He brought 3 large half-baked pizzas. So I baked. I'll tell you what, the half-baked works great. I baked.
Really?
Then I brought them in. 20 minutes per pizza. 10 minutes, no cheese. 10 more minutes with the cheese.
You didn't put this out for your guests. This was your private.
No. I put them out for the guests, yeah.
Well, but this is your favorite pizza.
Oh, I know, and I was happy to share it, and I was happy so many people said, "Wow, this is delicious pizza."
All right.
So it's unique.
Shout
I'll
out.
have to get you one, and we'll have to share it someday. But yeah,
So who was living in that house?
in Shreve, Ohio at that time? So it was my mom, and my mom is divorced, and and then my brother, all my brothers except for Joe. So my youngest brother Joe, who's my half brother,
Okay.
he's with my dad and my stepmom, but. It's the five of us, and my five brothers, Ryan or Rob, Jason, myself, Ryan, Brian, and so there's five boys. My mom, and then my stepdad Keith. He's living there.
Okay. And you were in school yet?
Technically I don't start. I start kindergarten in the fall of '79. So 78, 70, 79 I'm not. So we're still young.
Yeah.
The summer seemed.
How many years did you go to kindergarten?
Well, unlike you, I did one.
Oh, like me.
Yeah.
Well, I had a crush on my kindergarten teacher.
Did you
so
really?
I wouldn't have mind going back.
My kindergarten, I had a really nice. I loved my kindergarten. Mrs. Ryan or Ryan, I can't. Mrs. Ryan.
Yeah.
She was my kindergarten teacher. Great, loved. She was pretty.
Yeah.
Good. Except for I do remember she would do. I think it was her that if you were misbehaved, she would make you lay on the ground next to your seat.
Oh.
Next to your desk and face the floor. It was either her or. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was her. And then I remember one time somebody kept getting out of their seat and they put a bunch of glue on the chair.
No way.
And they were like going to put the person in. I don't think they actually had to do that. I mean, and it doesn't sound as nice as it at the time, but I remember yeah. I mean, I think that's the way discipline and things were back then, right? It was, but I still enjoyed it.
Did they do in your school, your kindergarten, what they did with mine is you had to introduce yourself by saying, "Here, my name is Terry," and then they want you to tell everybody what your dad does for a living.
I don't remember that.
You don't. I remember it very clearly. And my dad was a pharmaceutical sales rep for Bristol Myers Drugs.
Yeah.
So I get up and I say, "My name is Terry Lewis, and my dad sells drugs." And the kindergarten teacher, "What did you say, young Terry?"
Yeah, my mom probably sold drugs. No, I don't know if my mom ever did. She definitely received drugs.
Yes. All right. So Shreve Elementary. And then what else can you tell me about Shreve? Where is it close to?
It's just south of Wooster, Ohio. So yeah, it's a small
Wayne?
town. Yeah, Wayne County, Ohio. It's a small town, a little bigger than say Dromesville, where you'll hear me talk about that. And
right.
We already talked about Nashville, much bigger than Nashville. So
is this center? Is this a hot spot for Amish Mennonite farms?
It's not too far from there. It's not like you got Millersburg's not too far from there.
Okay.
And Holmesville and all that.
Did you have any friends that rode in buggies?
There is the Der Dutchman though in downtown.
All right.
The Essen, not the Der Dutchman. It's called the Essen Haus. The Essen, Essen, is the eat in German.
Okay.
The Essen Haus, I guess, and that's
H-A-U-S,
which is house.
Yes.
So the eat house, I guess.
All right.
And I used to remember as a kid going there. Again, that was just like you go there and you're like. I didn't understand why the people that worked there all wore, because they all wear Amish outfits in there because they're Amish.
Okay.
But yeah, we go there and we get family style. That was kind of interesting. That was a big deal.
Yeah.
Because we back then people didn't go out to eat very often and it was expensive. And but when we went to the Essenhaus and ate, it was a big. That's probably why I like hosting.
The smorgasbord, probably.
Well, it was family style. They'd bring the stuff out to your table. And for some reason, I can remember the corn, and eating the corn and.
Did they have roasted chicken?
Roasted.
Broasted.
Oh, they call it broasted.
I don't even know what it is.
Well, it's probably roasted chicken. I don't know. Maybe broasted.
I think it's done in a pressure cooker or something. I don't even know what roasted, but it's best.
I don't know what that means either.
Der Dutchman kind of restaurants, they have roasted chicken, best chicken in the world.
Well, yeah. I mean, Walnut Creek. I mean, all those Amish places.
And they have shoe fly pie. That's my best pie.
You talked about this before, I think. What is
shoe fly pie? It's pecan pie without the pecans.
That's right, pecan pie. Bringing that pecan.
It's a pecan pie without the pecans. It's shoe fly pie.
So it's pecan pie
without the pecans.
So it's just like that sweet
nougat,
whatever it is. Yeah.
Well,
that's got to be super sweet and sugary.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, with a nice brown sugar cutting. All right, so you're living with mom. What's going on with dad? Dad's house.
Yeah, dad. So. My dad at that time is living in Nashville.
Yeah.
I don't know if I talked about that on another podcast or it's all bleeding together.
Yeah.
But he lived in Nashville.
Is he remarried yet?
At that point, yeah, he is remarried. Yep, him and my stepmother got married in 1978, and my brother Joe was born in 78.
All right, but none of you and your brothers stayed with Mom.
So all 5 of us, there's 5 boys,
Yeah.
and we're all with my mom at that point.
Okay.
And Keith's living there, my stepdad, and then my dad is living in Nashville, with Joe. And I remember, I can still remember Joe being like just an infant, and it probably was, like I said, it was probably around my birthday, because I remember going up into Wooster, because Wooster was the big town, right?
Yeah.
If you're gonna do anything, I mean, Shreve's decent size little village in a say, but Wooster was the big city for us, and so I remember going up there to Fisher's Big Wheel, and you ever know Fisher's Big Wheel? You remember Big Wheel at all? Did they have Big Wheel outside of that? You had Buckeye Mart and Fisher's Big Wheel, I think. You don't remember any of that?
Don't know what these are.
Oh.
I did ride on a big wheel, and I have been to Frisch's Big Boys. But this isn't either one of those.
This was like a Kmart. Actually, I think when it shut down, the Kmart moved in, or maybe the Kmart moved in next door to it, and that's what caused it to shut down. But yeah,
Kmart is,
the Big Wheel.
For all you young people, Kmart's like Woolworths.
Well, Kmart's like Walmart.
Walmart, yeah.
Walmart, not Woolsworth. Well, yeah, it's funny. It's probably was like Woolsworth, right? You had the Woolsworth, and then from there became like the big marts, and then Kmart came in, and then Kmart became victim to Walmart.
That's right.
Right.
But Walmart doesn't have the blue light special.
So far, Walmart's holding on. Amazon, but
no more Kmart.
We've kind of went off the deep end.
All right. Anyway,
but I do remember going up there, and it must have been around my birthday, because I got like some action figures, some Shogun Warriors, and then going and playing
Shogun Warriors.
Yeah, these little tiny toys. They were like Japanese, like little robot toys. The Shogun Warriors. You don't remember Shogun Warriors?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Oh, well, if you guys remember Shogun Warriors, somebody's got to post some pictures.
Yeah, I want to see these. These were only.
This is another thing. I need to buy a little Shogun Warrior.
We need to have some symbols out here.
I love Shogun Warriors so much. I remember I got the little ones, and I remember playing with those.
That's a little one.
Yeah, it was like this big. Yeah, it was a little action figure. They're little action figures, like robots.
Why do you you're typing on a phone? When you're
I'm just showing how I'm playing with it.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But and then I remember the one Christmas I got this big, like 3-foot one, and it was all plastic. But the arms, because the arms would always shoot off on the little ones too. But this one had and they would shoot off. You hit the little spring load, and you're like, boo. And
is this from?
Cool.
Are these characters from like the early anime? Like
yeah, I think so.
Like Speed Racer.
As you guys are going to see, I don't have great, like, I'm one of those people that should know all these little details sometimes, and I don't.
Yeah. Well, you were a kid.
Something like that. Well, even in anything, I'm like.
Yeah. So did you go back and forth from Mom's house to Dad's house?
Yeah, we would. So like the every other weekend thing, and my dad would come pick us up. My mom had custody of us, and then it was we had like every other weekend.
So you did stay in the house with a little baby with your brother
every once in a while. Like I said, the only memory I really have of that time period mostly is when we were in Nashville, and I went in there, and he was sleeping in the crib in there, and I was in there playing on the floor. Yeah. With my Shogun Warriors and stuff like that. So, but yeah.
And your big trip was to go to Wooster.
Go to Wooster. Yep, we'd head out to Worcester, and Worcester, you had everything, right? Worcester had
it had everything.
I don't know if I can't. It's funny. I always get the things, but the big stores. But the big event. There's a couple big events would happen back then.
Okay.
One of them was the Santa Claus.
The Santa Claus.
So Santa Claus coming off the bank. I believe it was the bank there in Worcester in the town square. So to me again. Kindergarten, right? I'm like 5 or 6 years old.
It's like I'm watching the Christmas Story movie right now.
Yeah, I definitely believe in Santa Claus, right? Yes. And we would make the 15-minute trek or 20-minute trek from Shreve. It seemed like an hour probably. Yeah. But in the darkness in a rusted old vehicle, right? It's literally like Christmas Story, right?
It is.
And there's a lot of snow on the ground. And we would trek into the Worcester in the middle of the square, and you had Freelanders. And Freelanders was like in Christmas Story, like the big store. Okay. Right? And then the town square, everybody be huddled around. It'd be dark now, right? Yeah. And because it gets dark at 6 o'clock or whatever. And then like somebody's messing with you. You're like, do you hear him? Do you hear him landing? He's coming in. And then you're looking, and then you're like, oh. And then all of a sudden they put a big spotlight up on the roof of the bank. I think it was a bank. And then sure enough, then there would be Santa Claus up there
on the roof,
up on the rooftop of the bank. And so he flew in on his reindeer, and you believed it because you thought you heard bells. Maybe they played bells. And then there was Santa Claus on top of the rooftop, and then they would use a fire truck, and they would send the ladder up, and he would come down the ladder off the fire truck. I mean, if you're from Worcester, I don't know if anybody
Up
remembers
on
this
the
stuff.
rooftop. Cling,
Yeah,
cling, cling.
it was so exciting. I remember, and I was
Wow.
I would go home.
It's Santa.
Yeah, and I would go home at night and just like think about that.
Did he have
Wow.
a bag of toys that he passed out, or
I don't know if he did or not.
He
I
went
didn't-
there and
obviously-
got on his throne,
obviously
and
I didn't get any
for
toys.
$5 you could get a picture. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe, but I didn't. I mean, none of that. It was just still magical just to see
Yes.
it and do all that. So
yeah.
pretty
Oh
fun.
my goodness.
pretty fun time. Like I said, Worcester was the big thing, and then
So you had a big family. Anybody ever get lost?
yeah, we definitely had people get lost. We're going. It's hard to keep track of everybody when you have that big of a family. But yeah. So with there's a couple instances. The first one I'll talk about, I guess, is myself getting lost because that's a quicker story.
You're 5, 6 years old.
Yeah. So Shreve, we were talking about Shreve. In Shreve, Ohio, they used to have this great carnival. It's pretty fun, right? Like, I don't know if they still do it. A lot of downtowns don't do this anymore.
Yeah.
But they used to close off like the center of these little towns like Shreve, Lownville. And it's street fair basically, right? They block it off.
Sure.
And I just remember, and I know I was probably in this age era, I guess, because later we would be allowed to run around on our own. But in this case, I was too young to run around on my own. I was with my parents, my mom, and probably my stepdad. And I remember we're walking through the crowd, and it's funny because I can almost picture exactly where I was at. Like, I could see the Essenhaus on the left. I got the Pizza House on the right.
Yeah.
There's a big the Ferris wheel.
Ferris wheel.
But it's not that big because it's in a little town carnival.
Yeah.
And I remember, and they have the scramblers at those things.
Right.
And I'm just looking around, and then I must have went right, and they went left in the crowd.
Okay.
And so I'm like, oh my goodness.
Did they notice you were gone at first?
I don't know what
they were thinking.
Eventually, yeah, I think they realized.
But you were scared?
Yeah, yeah. I started looking around, and you start that panic, just looking around, like, where did they go? And and it was think about it back in those years, and I don't know if it's still like this to this day, but when you're young like that, it seemed like it was on the news all the time, and when you're young, you're either going to get kidnapped, you're going to get sucked up by quicksand,
yes,
right? like there's all of these things that are going to happen,
or the Russians are going to bomb you.
Yeah, exactly, right? It's the Russians, it's the quicksand,
yeah,
you're going to get kidnapped.
That's right.
And so I just remember looking around, but then I got a rude awakening that this is one of my mom's forms of discipline. Was I got that? Okay, I found my mom, but what she had done was grabbed the back of my hair right there, the little shorts right there on the back, and I got the little like, what are you doing? Kind of brought me over.
Oh, okay.
And then I was back. I was like, okay, I was happy to see my mom. I mean,
for
me, I'm like, here I am, but I also felt the pain of like I got in trouble for wandering off, even though I didn't intend to wander off. Right? It was like literally somebody went left and somebody went right. So.
Well, if people have watched the other episodes, they'll understand my next comment. But if we ever get lost, we were told to go find a police officer.
Yeah.
I can picture your mom again. You don't get the context without the other episodes, but she'd probably say, "Don't get a police officer."
Yeah, no, we never. I mean, a good portion of my life. I mean, I highly respect the police now, but for a huge portion of my life, we would have tried to avoid the police at all. In all
cases. Because mom might still be a fugitive.
Yeah, she might be in trouble. She might be getting in trouble.
Yeah,
you just looked at it like if you saw the police growing up, you were like, ooh. Like we could be in trouble for something.
We could be in trouble for something.
And I think that's why my mom did it, and I think that would carry on to us, right? Every time we saw something, we thought we were, it could possibly be the police, and stuff like that.
Anybody else get lost?
Yeah, so I was just actually talking about this with my brother this week, and he brought it up, but I had already had it on here. I was like, yeah, my brother Ryan. So. Again, think of the family. Like when you were in this era, I feel like there's just more wealth in general. Maybe, or maybe we were just pretty poor, but we somehow got tickets. I think we got tickets to SeaWorld, and I think the way we got them is the factories back then. They would always throw their picnics and stuff, right?
Okay.
I don't know if you guys did that or not. Like, so my mom at that point worked at A&M. I think I think it was called A&M.
A&M's a grocery store.
Well, no. It was a factory.
Oh.
And somebody can look and tell me too. I tried to Google it to find out.
A&M was a grocery store.
Well, there is an AM grocery store.
Anyway.
But my mom and my stepdad worked at this, I'm pretty sure it was a factory. And I don't know what they made there.
All right.
But I remember going there because there was a strike one time
All
called
right.
A&M. And but I think what happens is they had like deals and tickets for their picnic
Okay.
to go to SeaWorld. So we were all going to SeaWorld. And if people don't know this, there used to be a SeaWorld in
Aurora.
Ohio.
Yeah.
Right? And that was
Any amusement park right next to it?
was Geauga Lake.
Geauga Lake.
Yep, right on the same lake. You know what's so funny is I used to think, though, SeaWorld and Geauga Lake were on Lake Erie or something.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't realize that, like, I guess it was on.
This is about, 20 minutes south of Cleveland.
Yeah, I guess it was, and it was it, I guess it was Geauga Lake was the name of the lake, right? In Southern. That's why
Yeah.
The one amusement
Roller
park was
coaster.
called Geauga Lake, and the other one was SeaWorld. So
Yeah.
we went to SeaWorld, and so we're there, and it's one of these days that it was just raining all day.
Oh, no.
Right, so you can imagine my mom and my stepdad Keith. You've got 5 boys.
Yeah.
This is 1978, right? So you've got like an 8-year-old down to what, a 3 to 4-year-old.
Okay.
Yeah, Ryan and Brian were probably I have twin brothers, Ryan and Brian, and the younger brothers, and they're pretty young. They're like 3 or 4 years old. They're definitely not in school. Anyways, we're at SeaWorld, and we're trying to enjoy it, but it's just I only have one memory of like enjoying something during that whole day, and that was like watching. We were in the, like, they had a little amphitheater right there on the lake, and we're watching the ski jumpers, like the water.
Yeah,
the water
I remember that.
Right,
Yeah.
and I remember that, and the sun had come out just for a little bit. The rest of the time it was pouring down rain. So imagine you got 5 kids, 7 people total. We're all going places, and we're all holding hands.
Right.
And, because you didn't have the strollers like you do today.
Yeah.
And, it wasn't like my mom had, like, younger nowadays, like 3 or 4 year olds would definitely be in like a double stroller, or even now those new pack and play Wonder Pushes or whatever they call them. I mean, that's really brilliant when you think about it, right? You take a pack and play, put wheels on. Have you seen these things?
No.
Yeah, I bet you're, well, yeah, if you have any more grandkids,
And then there's
stuff,
like a transformer car. It turns into a car seat. And
well, it just collapses down. But it's literally a pack and play, so it's like a crib with wheels on it, and you push it. You don't pull it or anything like that. You push it like a stroller.
Yeah.
And I see these when I'm at the zoo and stuff, and I'm like, man, I wish I would have had that when I was when my kids were growing up. But
somebody got lost.
Yeah. So hey, that's the way this goes. We take, just so you don't know, I am known for this, right? I joke about it. I can take a short story and make it long.
This is sponsored by Graco, the walking stroller.
We have plenty of time.
Yeah, go ahead.
So
somebody got lost.
So we're going along. I remember it was pouring down rain, and all of a sudden, Ryan probably has his story. He told me, he's like, yeah, I just all of a sudden somebody came between us, similar to what happened to me in Shreve.
Mm-hmm.
And so I can imagine his thoughts, but he was younger even. And all of a sudden Ryan's gone, and we're at SeaWorld.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So we have now.
And you're not going to the cops.
Well, yeah. Well, it's funny because the story is that, and I don't remember it that way. The story Ryan remembers, at least my older brother had said this, was that, well, we just went on our day. like we weren't missing.
Let's look for Jeremy, but for Ryan.
Yeah, we weren't missing part of the herd.
All right. Sorry, Ryan.
But I do remember like us, I felt like, at least there's periods in my memory that we were running around panicked. It was pouring down rain. We had these like makeshift bags of ponchos or something trying to stay dry.
All right.
But we're getting soaking wet. Imagine like being in the middle of an amusement park or SeaWorld, and it is pouring down rain, right? And
your brother's lost.
And our brother's is lost. My brother's lost. And at this point now, my mom definitely has us all holding hands, staying close. She should have just tied us with the ropes probably, so we all stay together. Yeah. And Ryan's gone. And then, we start looking for him. And finally, I just remember the moment when we finally went up to one of the booths, right, to report our child as lost. And somebody, I think it was a radio or something, because I remember them redirecting us. And then we went, and then there was a booth there, and I can remember it was looked like a booth, and it had a counter.
Yeah.
And I can just remember seeing my brother down in there, and he was playing with something. And then they're like, oh, oh yeah, we definitely have your son here. And they grab him and they pick him up. And of course he was still like, I remember he looked like he was still sitting Indian style. Like,
okay.
Or, with cross-legged, I guess is what the appropriate way to say it nowadays. But he's sitting like that. And he had his legs crossed. And then when he saw us, I mean, he just started crying. I remember he was crying. And
wow.
Of course we were all reunited and happy.
He was having a good time. No.
Yeah, no, well, yeah, no, he was. He said, I just talked to him this week, and he was like, yeah, no, I was just sitting there playing and all that, and having a good time. They probably fed him and and all that. But he was having a good time. But that's a scary thing to lose.
It is. It is.
Did you ever get lost? Ever?
Well, interesting. So you could all fit in one car?
We could. Like we had at that point. It was either we had, I remember, a station wagon. Yeah, and I want to believe that's what we had at that point, was a station wagon where you just all pile in there.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter anyways. Even if it was a small car, we would. I mean, in those days, you could fit 6-7 kids in those things. Like the rules weren't the same, right? There was no seatbelt requirements, nothing.
Well, I was a third of 4, and we could all fit into our Buena Vista station wagon. But when we came to Columbus and we were going out with grandparents, it required to have 2 cars. And when you didn't have car seats, it was always your mother's forearm. With
that's it, right?
Seatbelt, right?
And you sit in the front seat sometimes.
And that's the safest place. If you're in the middle of the bench seat, then your mother's forearm can be your seatbelt.
Yeah, except for when you got in it and the sun had been beating down on that bench seat.
Well, that's true.
Whatever that fake leather was.
That's true.
And your legs would hit it.
But in Columbus, for those people who are listening in and live in Columbus, you know that at the corner of Morse and High Street is Jerry's Restaurant. It's a big arrow that flashes, and they've kept the arrow. Now it's a Chick-fil-A. But it's this big arrow, Jerry's Restaurant. It's where we always went. And so we had Grandma and Grandpa Lou, and we had us 6, and so it required 2 cars. And so after dinner, everybody's loading up. Who's got which kid? And each car thought they had little Terry.
Oh, this is Home Alone.
But they didn't have little Terry. And I'm in some kind of child's chair, the way they tell the story. I don't know if it's a high chair, whatever kind of chair. And there's no cell phones, of course. And my grandparents lived in Upper Arlington, just 15 minutes away. But they get home and at my grandparents' house, and they go, "You had Terry." "No, you had Terry." So
where's Terry? Right.
My mother gets in the car. She barrel heads back to Jerry's Restaurant, and there I am with all kind of suckers and desserts and soda pop and some waiters and a manager that's looking at my mother like with the biggest stink eye they've ever had.
I mean, that's literally right out of the movie.
I suppose, but that's this time I didn't really get lost. It was left behind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. That's funny, though. Thinking there's no cell phones, there's no nothing. They just...
Yeah.
They're like, I hope this kid comes back. Otherwise, you would have been sold off.
They thought, yes. So...
Were you scared at all? Do you remember being scared?
Well, I remember being really happy.
Oh, okay.
Because I kept getting,
getting candy
all of this stuff. Yeah. And I was kind of afraid that my mother was going to blame it on me.
Yeah. You probably snuck off. You were hiding.
So when she came back and, "Oh, Terry, I'm so sorry," I realized, oh, I can milk this again.
You're like, wow, my mom.
She's not yelling at me, so I didn't do anything wrong.
You didn't get the beating for it or a hair pull
No,
or anything like that.
No, yeah. So
when we were leaving that day, I got a beating because I kept stepping on the back of my mom's flip-flop. But back then, she called it thongs. Did you guys, when you grew up, call flip-flops, like the flip-flops, thongs?
A thong is something totally different, Jeremy.
Family-friendly show. But yeah, my mom, they called it, and again, I just need people to support me on this, but she called her flip-flop. They were thongs, and
yes.
And
Do you still use that term?
I remember stepping on by accident. I stepped on the back of it and it broke her one, and then she tried to get it to fix and it wouldn't. And then sure enough, after she kind of got that one working, I stepped on the other one and broke it. And it was right before we were supposed to go in a restaurant, and of course, then it was no shirt, no shoes, no service.
Oh.
And even though I don't know how flip-flops count as shoes anyways.
Yeah.
And anyways, I got a beating with the flip-flop.
Okay.
And then I remember they had to go in and ask the restaurant people, explain to them what happened.
Yeah.
It was like, this guy broke my shoes. Is there if we come in? And they were very hospitable and let us come in.
All right.
And yeah, so
there you go.
And so we did that.
That's where Jimmy Buffett put it in his song.
Yep.
The flip-flop.
I was noticing 1978, a couple things. I don't know what order we're going in anymore, but
we got to talk about the blizzard.
Yeah, the blizzard of 78.
What do you remember?
Oh, you got me. I was asking you first. I got to jinx you because I said it first. We were starting. What do you remember?
Well, it's January.
Or do you want to go? You want me to go first?
Yeah,
more
go
memory.
first. Yeah.
Well, you have more memories of it, probably. I mean, I'm pretty young. The only thing I remember mostly of the blizzard of 78 was, it's weird. I don't remember the outside very much. And obviously the snow must have been coming down. I mean, I'm young, so I was kept. But what we did is we had to put everybody in the living room. Like I remember there was no power in a way, and there was just piles of blankets and everything that could use for warmth was in a pile in the middle of the living room.
Yeah.
And then my mom had filled up the bathtub with water.
Yeah.
I don't think that's the case. I still tell my wife, like, if I think the power's going to fill up with water, and she's like, why? You don't need to do that. And I'm like, you don't understand. We'll have no water.
Yeah, yeah.
We gotta, but that's what we were taught, fill it up so you can put it in the toilet or whatever you need. And so we'd filled the bathtub up with water. And yeah, I just remember us sitting in the middle and just kind of freezing and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it was a big deal. Everybody was home for I don't know how long. But and then I can remember kind of our front picture window, like when you opened it, you couldn't see out of it. The snow was probably up to the top of the roof or something, the way it drifted and stuff.
Well, that's what made it, and it's still the benchmark. We still say in big storms in Ohio today, people who are old like me, we compare it. Well, that's almost as bad as the blizzard of 78.
The blizzard of 78.
The thing was, it did snow. It did snow in Sandusky, Ohio, at least. It snowed probably 3 feet of snow. But the other factor that came in that was so odd was like hurricane speed winds. So it would take those 3 feet of snow and it would create a 10-foot drift.
Yeah.
So I remember going like our sliding glass door in the back of the house. You couldn't get out of that door, and you could find your way out through the garage, but we could walk. We just lived on a ranch house. We could climb up to the roof of the house through the drift.
Yeah.
And we did. Our room was the fireplace room, so the family room had a fireplace. But not everybody in the street had a fireplace. Mm-mm. So they were all making a path. And I just remember we just had a blast, at least for the first 3 days. And then roads were starting to get cleared off. But the school district went on the TV station and made a message that said, we're going to be closed all of next week because pipes were frozen and all of this. And I was a senior in high school, and my mom said to me, you got to get out of here. You can't be around the house for a week. I can't have you around the house for the week.
Yeah.
And you've got to take your baby sister, which was 5 years younger than me.
Yeah.
And I said, well, where are you going to go? Where should I go? And she handed me the car keys to her Ford Fairmont. And she said, go visit your Uncle John in Silver Spring, Maryland, in Washington, D.C.
What?
So, I'm serious.
Wait. So there's a blizzard, but it's kind of being cleared out.
Yes. The roads are kind of clear.
You're 18.
I'm driving my mom batty.
Yeah.
Picking on my little sister.
And your sister's
my
in
other
8th
two
grade.
brothers are off, and my one. Yeah, and so my mom's just fed up with us.
Hands you keys and says drive to Silver Spring, Maryland.
Drive to Silver Spring, Maryland.
Which, as you guys don't know, I mean, I know where Silver Spring is. I mean, that's outside of Washington, D.C.,
basically. Yes. I have an uncle that lives there.
That's like a 9-hour drive.
I know.
On the current interstate system with no snow.
And I'm on Route 2. I remember
Route 2.
I'm on Route 2 going across northern Ohio. And it's open, but it's pretty slick. And at one point, I did a full 360 in the car.
So you literally did the Christmas vacation spin.
And I said to Mom, I can't just go at Ford Fairmont. I can't just go with my sister, Mom. And she said, well, bring a friend. So I brought my friend Tom Bixler.
So Tom
Bixler and I and my little sister in the back in the seat with a blanket. And we head to Silver Spring, Maryland. And it took us, a full day to get there. And
Yeah.
we arrive at my Uncle John's
I can't
house.
imagine back in that day.
He was a bachelor his whole life.
Because
But
you didn't have 80, 90, the turnpike.
by this point, my uncle's probably in his mid-50s, single, never married, was a reporter for the Wall Street Journal,
Oh, yeah.
had a press pass to the
Wow,
to
well,
the
that's
White
cool.
House and all of this stuff. And so we stayed there, and he took us around to all of these sites. Went into the White
Maryland
House, went into the Capitol.
Didn't get hit with the snow.
No, I'm sure it's cold in January. You live there, but
Yeah.
it didn't have that snow. And so we stayed with him for like 4 or 5 days, and then we get in the car and we come back. Mom just was not going to have us stay at home.
That's kind of wild.
We're
though,
going to
think about.
drive her crazy. But I do remember on Route 2 that it was so slick that I spun it in a full circle,
I mean, the way
on the highway.
the way we are now. I mean, that's literally like Nate and Emily.
Okay.
Like that's us, me handing the cars
yes.
to Nate
yeah.
right now
Yeah.
and saying, Nate, take Emily
Yeah.
and you need to go to Maryland. To
Well, we
Washington,
didn't
DC.
have gaming. We had
I know.
Pong. We had Pong.
That's pretty. That's just the difference nowadays, right? You
Yeah,
think
we
about
didn't
that.
have no, and we couldn't go outside and play because it was so
Yeah,
cold.
so let's just go 9 hours away. We
So
have
you're
interstates
not
too.
staying in this house, Mom said. You're
Yeah.
not staying here.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, so that's what I remember of
Now,
the
how
blizzard.
did you? But like the money wise, gas money.
Oh, she might have given me a $10 bill or something.
I mean, how did you pay for food and drink? I mean, on the way to.
We
I mean,
just
'cause
had to get to Uncle John's house, and
I
then
know,
everything was
but,
taken care of.
I mean, it wasn't cheap with all that gas. I mean, you were still on regular gas. You probably weren't even unleaded then.
Yeah, no, probably weren't.
Yeah.
I don't remember. She probably gave us some money, but
Yeah, you had something.
that's what I
you-
remember about the blizzard.
And the trip, other than you spinning around a 360,
I was scared to death.
did you ever tell your mom about the 360 spin?
I don't know.
Does Lori remember that?
I'm sure she does, but my sister and I in cars.
She's not gonna say you Lewis this story, is she?
No, she won't tell you that, but she will tell you that,
You guys had some events.
I'm a senior in high school, and she's 5 years younger, so that would have meant she was
She's
about
in 8th grade.
She's
13.
eighth grade. We were
Yeah.
never in high school together, so 8th grade, and I thought I took it on my responsibility to teach her how to drive
Oh, you taught her how to drive.
at 14 years old.
Oh my goodness.
So we took my mom's VW Beetle, and she had the Ford Fairmont. I had the Beetle, and I get my sister.
What year was the Beetle?
I don't know, maybe like a 70 or 68 Beetle.
Yeah, that's nice.
And I go out to the country, going out to my girlfriend's house out in the country on Patton Track Road. And my sisters, I say, okay, we're stopping the car. You're getting in. She would have been great, except for the fact that I had taught her how to shift, but she was in the passenger seat, and she had been
The
shifting
wrong direction.
for me with her left hand.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And now she gets in to the driver's seat, and she doesn't know how to do this, doesn't know how to do the clutch,
And doesn't understand the clutch. Yeah, I was gonna
and
say.
doesn't really understand the clutch.
The feel of that.
And so we finally get. Man, she did great down the country road.
How was your back? Were you
And
like this?
yeah, it was a little bit of that, but then now it's time to turn into my girlfriend's farm,
Yeah.
and she did the turning fine, the shifting,
Well,
all
she
of
didn't-
that.
Yeah.
And
The slowing
it was
down.
a pretty old tree that we
Oh.
went right in it. Of course, the engine's in the back,
Yeah.
so the whole front end buckles.
Oh
And
no.
she's
Did she have her seatbelt on?
she
and stuff?
had-
Probably not.
she had the wheel into her gut,
Oh,
and
no.
so she couldn't get out. So
Oh.
I had to run and talk to my girlfriend's father
Yeah.
and called the ambulance. And so the car's totaled, and I'm at the hospital with my sister, where the cops call my mom and dad. And
Yeah. They're like.
my dad comes down, and he is really mad at me.
Yeah.
And he says, "What do you got to say for yourself?" And I said, "Well, it's really Mom's idea,"
You blame.
which it
Yeah.
really was.
It was her idea.
She didn't really want. This is the fourth kid in the family.
Yeah. Yeah.
She really didn't want to have to be the taxi for my sister.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Mom's thought
but
was,
she didn't say, "Hey, take your sister out and let her drive your car."
no, she really wanted me to teach my sister how to drive the car because she's wanting my sister to drive at 14 so she doesn't have to drive her everywhere.
Yeah, but at that age, what was the legal age to drive?
It was 16.
It was 16. Yeah, there you go.
But, you're a Lewis. I'm a Lewis.
Yeah.
I don't always follow the rules.
Yeah, my brother, they would take the cars out before they were. My car, I had my car. I bought it, and anyways, I was out in California, and it sat by my brother Brian, I think it was. He could verify the stories, but yeah, I would take my car at a young age out driving it around and stuff like that.
So somehow my mom was able to take the blame because all my dad could say at that point
but no
is,
insurance or anything. I mean,
my
medical,
dad, well, I don't know.
And Lori turned out all right.
Lori turned out okay. She reminded me of that story throughout my life, and she visited town yesterday.
That's an interesting story.
Anyway, that's the blizzard, and that's 1978 for me. Now let's go back to you. So mom and dad are living separately. Mom marries Keith.
Yep, they're married at this point. She went down to Florida.
Oh,
and
did you go down there?
No, I didn't. I stayed there. I stayed up with my uncle or with
my
neighbors.
Was it like the honeymoon or something?
Yeah, I think it was the honeymoon. It's so weird. Like my memory. Like I said, I don't have memories of my mom and dad together, and but I just have a memory that my mom either they got married in Florida or got married and then went to Florida for a honeymoon. I can't process that quite.
Yeah,
probably correctly.
Who'd you stay with?
I stayed with the neighbors down the road, Ackermans, great people. Kelly, I brought her up before. Kelly Ackerman. She was probably like a senior in high school, and of course, probably like you with your kindergarten teacher, I was infatuated with Kelly.
Yeah.
Being a young kindergarten kid or preschool, and doing all that. But yeah, that was a wild time there. They being in Shreve because, really, the next story is probably the most interesting.
Go into it.
I don't know how we planned on introducing this, but yeah. So,
first of all, you had a motorcycle ride.
Oh, yeah.
Tell me about that.
Well, I do remember the motorcycle. That was
This is your father-in-law.
Yeah, this is my
stepdad.
This is my stepdad. I do remember that. Like this is a moment in my memory of like where my parents were definitely split up and in whatever, because I can just remember my mom. They were in the living room there. We had this living room with this big picture window. But I just remember my mom and my dad are fighting about something. My stepmother's there, and Keith is there. And then Keith just made a decision like, hey, let me get him out of here. And I remember, I can just remember my first motorcycle ride. It was dark, and he pulled, and he had me, and it was in the middle of the night, not the middle of the night, but it was dark. I just remember. And we hopped on the motorcycle, and I rode with him on the back of the motorcycle, went down and around Shreve Lake and drove all around. And I think he was just like kind of helping remove while all that was happening. And came back and yeah, but
have you ever had a motorcycle since then?
I've never ridden them. I mean, I've ridden a motorcycle. I've driven a motorcycle, but I've never been a motorcycle person. Only because probably my mom some issues with some motorcycles, which will be another story. But,
okay.
But then in coming from the Army, we just lost so many soldiers always, and people, many motorcycles accidents. And so,
really?
As much as I want to have a motorcycle, I've always said, it's probably not the best thing to do, just having witnessed.
What a responsible person.
Right? Yeah.
You
nothing against them. I think they're amazing. I think it would be fun. But
if you're a motorcycle rider, then you're going to have an unpredictable life.
Maybe. Yeah, I would say. You never know. Right? You never know when.
You take a lot of precautions.
But
all right. Yeah. So in our pre-notes, you said, I got to tell you the story of Louie Stackhouse.
Louie Stackhouse.
Tell me about this story.
Is this one of those stories that very few people are like, did this really happen?
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah. I mean, as far as I know, it happened. I have memories of it. And,
okay.
And what I believe the whole thing through it is supposedly true, right? So
okay.
I can only tell you what happened and what happened. So anyway, in that same room where I'm in the living room where Keith is there.
Yeah.
And where we have a picture window. You can look up obviously.
It's his mom's house, Mom and Keith.
Yeah, Mom and Keith, and I said 281 Church Street. You can go look it up on Google. It's not it's a rundown old home, and it wasn't so much bigger in my mind, but anyway, so I don't know what was going on in the living room. We were there. We have a picture window. We had the curtains drawn, and I just kind of remember, like, I'm for some reason a blue flash caught my eye, and so I walk and look outside. I walk on the other side of the curtains because the curtains aren't showing any. This isn't like a windows are wide open. It's dark out, and I just saw this flash, and I remember like pulling the curtain back, and I look, and when I look out, all I see are cop cars. So there's all these cop cars there
with their lights on. And
with their lights are on. They got the blue lights,
yeah.
and I just see like 3 or 4 cop cars that I can see, and I'm sure something wraps around down the alley
around your house. I mean, they're
and it's just like at that moment of seeing it and being like what's going on kind of thing.
Yeah.
All of a sudden it's like we have you surrounded. Come out with your hands up, kind of thing.
No.
Yeah. So it's like
you're the first one to see it going down.
Yeah, I'm the first one to notice like hey guys, and I don't think like that. I'm 4 or 5 years old, 5 or 6 or whatever.
Yeah.
But I just remember like seeing the blue light, like sliding behind the curtain. Again, you picture adult, but it's picture a child that's like pretty small.
Yeah.
And we used to hide back there for hide and seek.
So what do you do?
So, well, at that point, like I said, when I see it and I go to just what's going on, I don't know really what's going on, but as it's happening, that's when all of a sudden the announcement comes of basically, come on out. We've got you surrounded.
Yes.
Everybody come out of the house. And so I remember at that point,
and mom and stepdad are there.
Yep. And I remember at that point, that's when all of a sudden people just go to the windows, right? Everybody goes to the windows and they're looking out. And I think somebody gets yelled at for looking out the window or something.
All right.
Because don't look out the window, right? But at this point, yeah, there's cop cars. And now all of a sudden it's like, let's go out. We got to go out. You know what I mean?
And you think they were there for your mom?
No, they weren't. No. They weren't. Well, you never know. I mean, at this point in my life,
I'm really bashing your mom.
No,
sweet lady,
yeah.
but
yes,
there were a few reasons that, okay.
I love my mom, and I was super attached. I mean, yeah. If people know, they know how much I love my mom.
All right.
But at that point,
so you all go out.
We start going out. So we start going out.
Hands up.
My Aunt Mary is visiting us. She had just graduated, I guess, from high school.
All right.
And she was there visiting, and this is my mom's biological sister.
All right.
And she's visiting. She graduated. It was like a trip. I learned this later from her. This was like a special trip for her to come visit and live with, stay with us and all that. And she's in the bathtub in the shower while this is happening. And so then, we come out basically with our hands up, right? And I remember we have like a little concrete stool.
Yeah.
And the police are there and it's dark and the blue lights and they're like, all right, let's get in the cars, right? So we get in. So now we get into the police cars. And I remember I'm sitting in.
They're taking all of the kids and
Yeah. There's 5 of us, right?
Yeah.
And I think it was Rob and Jason. I think ended up in a different police car. I need to ask what they remember of the stories. What I should do. And then me and I believe it was Ryan and Brian were in the same. We ended up in the same car. And of course, my mom. If anybody knows her, I mean, her name is Karen, and we always joke that she's probably the original Karen. Like everything that you hear about Karens, right? I'm always like, that can't. Maybe
I don't even know what you're talking about.
You don't know? You never heard anybody call somebody a Karen?
I've known Karens in my life.
Yeah, but the word Karen now is it's kind of derogatory, right? Like
it is.
Yeah, if somebody's gonna,
I'm a sheltered life.
If somebody's gonna yell and scream at a manager, right, or yell at somebody, they're like, don't stop being a Karen, right? That's the phrase. You can Google it. I didn't make that up. But I always joke with my brothers, like maybe my mom
was the original Karen.
Was the original Karen.
So they go into a police car too.
Yeah, so we're all getting into the police car, and my mom is unhappy. She's yelling at the police, right? You have no right in my house. I pay taxes, and my taxes pay your salary.
Man,
so
way to go, Mom.
You work for me, and all that. And so we get into the car, but we're in there. We're sitting in there, and she could hear the radio, and you can hear them talking. I still can remember the radio call, like, we can't hear him say, we can't find him. He's not here. I remember hearing that come over the radio. But I remember my mom screaming because Ryan and Brian, while we're in the car, they pooped their pants.
No.
Yeah. Sorry, Ryan and Brian.
They're older than you.
No, they're younger than me.
They're younger.
Yeah. They're my 2 younger brothers. So they're probably, they probably don't even remember this. They're probably like 3 years old. You know what I mean? So.
This is pretty smelly. You're in a cop car.
Oh, yeah. They're stunk up the whole entire cop car.
Oh, my.
And now my mom's like, and I remember the deputy saying something in the police car.
Yeah.
And
so there was a cop in the car.
Yeah, I can remember the cop, and he was being pretty nice.
Yeah.
But they've got a whole search party going through our house. And my mom then is getting furious because as they're going through the house, now my brothers have stunk up the whole police car. Their pants are full. And she's like, I need to go change my kids. Like, kind of telling them, I need to do this now. You guys need to stop. And they're like, sorry, ma'am, we need to find this guy. And so, but she's like, they're tearing up our house. I know they're tearing up it. And she's yelling. She's being pretty belligerent. And so eventually, they go through the whole
you're
house.
going to get to this. They're searching for somebody.
Mm-hmm.
You're about to tell us who?
Yeah. Sorry. I had to get a drink there.
Yeah.
I drink so much diet soda. I probably shouldn't, but.
All right.
Yeah. So who the guy they're looking for is, and it's funny. A good thing they probably didn't ask us, because we would have said, yeah. So this guy named Louie Stackhouse.
You didn't know him.
Well, I didn't know who he was. I just know he was staying at our house.
You knew he was staying at your house.
Oh yeah, no, Louie had been in our house for like a few days at this point. So Louie,
on what premise is he?
So Louie's staying at our house. I didn't understand any of this, right? I mean, I don't know. All I know is the cops are there. Our house is surrounded. Come out with your hands up. And now they go into the house and they're looking and they're tearing our house up. And we're sitting inside the car. Oh, the other side of the story is...
Wait, you know who this guy is. He's staying at your house for the last few days.
Yeah, exactly.
Is he a friend of your stepdad?
He was a friend. Yeah, he was a friend of my stepdad. I believe that's how it was.
And he came and needed a place to stay.
Yeah. But before we get there, another thing, as we're sitting there, Aunt Mary, she's in the bathtub.
Yeah, okay.
So I just remember vividly then, her, now all of a sudden there's like a spotlight. It's so funny because the spotlights, you know how they have the spotlight?
Okay, yeah.
She's literally, I'm in the cop car and I can remember seeing her now standing at the front door of the house on the concrete, and she just got like a towel wrapped around her. So think she's 18. She's come back for this like vacation after like a present. And now she's coming out with the house surrounded.
Yeah, put your hands up. Well, the towel's gonna go down if I do.
Right. That's right. That would be right out of a movie in a way. But yeah, she's like wrapped up in a towel. She might have had like one of those halter top.
Yeah.
What do they call those?
I don't know.
Fabric. It's kind of like a towel, terry cloth or something. Terry cloth,
Yes.
But like one of those outfits or something. But I know she didn't have a whole lot on. And she comes out with her hands up, and fortunately the cops were probably nicer at that point, because Mary's a very pretty lady, so she was there, and they probably calmed down a little bit. But yeah, so let me tell you about Louie. So Louie, I guess this is the story as I know it, right? Somebody might say, no, that's not really what happened. As far as I was told,
yes,
Louie Stackhouse had robbed a bank. And maybe not one bank, a couple banks. So he had robbed a bank, right? And
in town.
I don't know which town.
You don't know what town.
I don't know which town. I don't know what it is. I just know I was told that Louie had robbed a bank. And then I don't know where the money was or anything like that, but he had robbed a bank, and so he was, on the what do they call it, the lem, right?
Yes.
He was on the go. And so he needed a place to stay, and he was staying at our house. And Louie was a nice guy. I mean, Louie was truly a nice guy.
Yeah.
And hanging out with us. But what had happened then that day was somehow, I guess, now I learned all this later and over a few years with my mom, that they had got word, I guess, that somebody had. She always blamed my dad, actually, in hindsight now. She blamed my dad, I think, for that. There's always that mom and dad blame. That somebody had turned them in and said, hey, this guy's living there at our house. And so they got word, so somebody had told the police that Louie's living at our house. And then somehow my mom got word that somebody had told the police that. Okay. So my mom, like Keith, earlier in the day, took Louie and left. Yeah, so they're gone. They're not there. So when the police do show up now and they surround the house.
So he's not in the house.
He's not in the house. He's gone. So Louie's gone. And their house got surrounded. They searched the whole house, and no, there's no Louie.
And your stepdad knows where he took him.
Yeah.
Does he give him up?
No. But then all of a sudden, like that. So my memory, how it works is Louie then, years later. Like, so I guess he eventually gets caught. I always understand that he got in the crime that I guess he finally gets convicted on was taking a minor over state lines. I don't know what that story all entails.
All right.
But I was told they never got him for the bank robbery. That was the whole thing. If it was really a bank robbery, I don't know. I need to try to find something in the archives.
He didn't take one of your siblings.
No. I think it was a young lady or something.
Okay.
I don't know the full story, and I don't want to. I don't want to. I mean, Louie obviously was a criminal, but I don't want to disparage. Louie. He was a nice enough guy. But the other thing is
treated you fine.
Well, he would write us letters. He would write us letters. So we get a
From jail?
From jail. I would get a letter from Louie in the
No.
jail. And then maybe not just to me, it was to our family. And he would draw the peanuts and like Charlie Brown. And I was like, man, Louie is such a great artist. He would draw Snoopy. And I was like, this is so cool, in a way. I never understood all that.
Louie wrote letters from
Yeah.
prison to your family.
Yeah.
And your mother would read them at the dinner table?
Well, we weren't the kind
You
of
put it
people
up
that,
on your refrigerator?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And,
like,
so that's
here
it.
we got another letter from our convict
Louie
friend.
Stackhouse. Yeah. And that's the way it works. And I probably should have told that story first so you guys didn't have to wait to the very end. I don't know how people will get there.
That is an unpredictable life.
Right? That's definitely was not. You would never think that story.
My goodness.
And that's a real story, though. But,
So let's take a step back for a second and what are some overall themes in that year as you look back?
well, I think, that for me, that was about as normal as my life would be.
Normal.
Yeah, until I could create normal in a way. But yeah, I would
There's
say
a blizzard. Did you mention that the babysitter Kelly that you had a crush on took you to a haunted house?
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Which is
there's,
fun,
there's story after story.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
this is normal.
We got lost a couple times. But that's the great thing about those years, right?
Yeah.
Like, you just look back fondly and there's something magical about those. I think your kindergarten through 3rd or 4th grade years, and then we'll talk
Yeah.
about some of those other things in 1st, 2nd, 3rd grade and stuff. But yeah, no, it was good. I mean, other than some of those things, it was good. But yeah, I'm trying to think what memorable, or like I said, I think overall when I think of that period, I do think I enjoyed that time period. Nothing overly terrible happened, I guess, right? My mom and my brothers, we all loved each other. We'd have, movie nights and pizza, back then, getting a pizza at Koshi House on Friday or whatever the
Yeah.
weekend, getting the little tiny little bit of soda or pop, the little Pepsi.
Yeah.
It was just kind of magical. Or the time we got to spend at the Blizzard, right?
Yeah.
All huddled around together as a family.
So
Those things force things to happen.
So I know this is going to be some other episode, but when you led men into battle, and you actually experienced some pretty scary things, it really tightens the bond, doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
And here you are as a family going through very unpredictable, sometimes scary
yeah.
things,
Yeah.
and it had bonded you with your family.
Oh yeah, my brothers and I, we're very tight. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, we've gone through things and we've battled with each other, but I think anybody knows us as 5 brothers, they know
Yeah.
we're still pretty close. We text each other every day. We know none of us are perfect. We all have
Yeah.
different things, but we love each other, and we went through some stuff, so we stick
Yeah.
together. Yeah.
And people know that I'm a retired pastor, but
Yeah.
not to get too religious or anything, but people have asked me throughout my life, why does God allow bad things to happen to good people? And sometimes I think, well, think back to the bad things you went through in life. Didn't it make you a better person?
Yeah, absolutely.
Why are you mad at God for? He allows it, but he does it for a better end down the road.
Refines you and you grow. And
Yeah. Well,
What about you though? What about you?
when I look back,
when you look back and you think of this time.
well, I
period.
think of life lessons as well. I think that my family had its own crazy to it, and my mom and dad weren't perfect, but I look back in high school life, in college life, when I was just starting off to college in 78 and 79, and I just think God had his hand on me. I did stupid things, and I got involved with dorm life, the first time you're out of high school and nobody's telling you what time to be back and at home and everything. And I just think that old what was that old poem called Footprints in the Sand?
Oh yeah.
I look back at my life and I see that there were 2 sets of footprints, and then during the hard times I only saw 1 set, and I wondered, where did you go, God, during those times? And he said, I was carrying you.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I look back at those and think, God was carrying me.
Absolutely. You never know why you go through different things.
Yeah. So we kind of landed the plane here, episode 4. Do you know what we're doing? Where the DeLorean's taking us?
Well,
in episode 5?
so episode 5, right? We're gonna jump back forward, right? We go back to college.
Okay.
I am torn a little bit on the style or the methodology. So I'm still wrestling with, we're gonna go into college, right? And then then should we hop back to 1980 and 81, or do we jump forward?
Yeah.
To 2001, 2003, like 9/11, and then start that story of my I wouldn't say it's not the beginning of my Army career, but the beginning of my wartime Army career.
So I take it that whatever I'm thinking is going to happen, it's probably unpredictable.
Yeah, it's hard to tell. But no, thank you to everybody though for listening. We've enjoyed, love the comments. I mean, just love everybody who is listening and getting something from this, and we hope you are enjoying it. And as always, thank you, Terry, for being part of this.
Thank you, Jeremy.
And stay unpredictable.
All right.
Thank
See you
you
next time.